to our TD and his staff, Dana Smith. All right, a couple years ago, we had the idea of starting up the Florida Disc Golf Hall of Fame. And we put together a selection committee of some of the people that have been playing disc golf. People that have been playing disc golf here in Florida the longest and have helped grow the sport in our wonderful, beautiful, sunny state. So without further ado, we're going to induct the first 2 members into the Florida Disc Golf Hall of Fame. Next year's championship will be in Sarasota, I'm pleased to announce, and we will induct some more members then. But these people that we're inducting don't really know me, so I'd like to introduce someone they do know, and that is the 1987 Pro World Disc Golf Champion, Gregg Hosfeld.
A lot of work's gone into getting to where we are today, not just for the tournament, but for the Florida Disc Hall of Fame. It's been in the works for quite a while, and so we really wanted this year to be the first year. And there's so many people that are deserving, and they will get their due in the near future. Firstly, I want to thank Tim Willis, Ben Champion, Trevor, for coming together to do this. Trevor will be hosting the Florida Disc Golf Hall of Fame and Museum in the local route store. So, very humble beginnings for the moment. You know, we've one of the things that we're really grateful for is Levon Wolf, who, as you may know, started the International Disc Golf Hall of Fame. Levon made his, it's the traveling collection, wasn't it? The traveling Hall of Fame.
History of flying discs.
Yeah, the history of flying discs. He made that available to us, and we got that up, and we got some of the Hall of Fame discs up at this point. But I encourage you to come over and check it out. The inductions are not necessarily in any kind of chronological order, although these are 2 of the earliest Florida inductees into the International Hall of Fame. The first player that we're going to be introducing and inducting is a gentleman by the name of Steve Slasor, one of the earliest touring pros, who's a very strong challenger. Naturally gifted as a player, Steve Slasor won the very first disc golf tournament he ever played in, and then won the very first PDGA sanctioned event ever. There were 2 that weekend. One finished on Sunday, one finished on Monday. He won the one finished on Sunday. So, first person to ever win a PDGA sanctioned event.
Florida boy.
Florida boy. Playing 4 rounds at the 1984 World Championship. Steve Slate, was it 4 in a day?
Sunday was 5 rounds.
5 in a day.
4 rounds every day except Sunday.
Okay, so 4 rounds in a day?
That was the first time, as far as I know, that players were able to play in the Open Division and the Masters Division at the same time.
Okay. Well,
I think that may have been the first year that they had a Masters Division.
Okay.
In Rochester.
Well, the point being that playing 4 rounds a day, he's managed to still win Master Worlds at the tournament and got, what, 7th in
8th place.
8th place in the Open Division. That's a couple of big days right there. I'm listed at 69 PDGA victories. I'm sure there's more, because not unlike myself, pretty much his first decade is somewhat undocumented, and we need to go back and check that. But all of his wins might suggest that he can drive. Mr. 055 right here. Steve Slasor. Several world titles and several-time Florida champion. He's won the MP40 at least 3 times that we've been able to dig up. But Steve Slasor, welcome to the Florida Disc Golf Hall of Fame.
It's hard to believe that it's been 46 years since I started. In '76, I was living in Seattle with my parents, helping them build a sailboat. And I saw an article in the paper about these two guys that were teaching disc golf, not disc golf, but just frisbee at the university. And I decided one weekend to go see what it was all about, what they were doing. So I met them out at Green Lake, and these were Ralph Williamson and Jeff Jorgensen, who at the time were well-known freestylers. So I at the time joined the Olympic Windjammers, which is the local club there, and they talked me into playing in that year's Washington State tournament. And the events they had there were distance, disc golf, accuracy, and freestyle. And I happened to win the accuracy, the disc golf, and the distance. And that sort of got me started. I had a little bit of an unfair advantage in that 2 or 3 years before that, I played catch with a buddy of mine at FIT, where I went to school. So I was throwing moonlighters. I don't guess any of you know what a moonlighter is, except Greg maybe, but the moonlighter plastic meant that the disc went a little further, a little heavier. But that got me started. I went on a traveling little tour with Ralph and Jeff and Doug Newland. At the time, we went to Minnesota and Boulder, Colorado. Played in a couple of tournaments there. Didn't do great there, but it was an interesting experience. Met people like Stork for the first time, and that was quite a thing too. And after that, I went away in LA and played Oak Grove, which was the first time I'd ever seen a disc golf course with regular baskets. When I got to Florida, I stayed for a few months in Sarasota, where I met Greg and Jeff and Mark Watson, Jaws, Tim Willis, and a few other people then who are still friends now, believe it or not. But spent a number of years in Florida, played, in those days we had only one course which had a regular hole holes. That was at Rockledge. Ed Aviles had a course there. So I traveled every weekend, probably for quite a while, from Melbourne to Rockledge playing that course. And in other places, we had, for instance, a course at New College in Sarasota, which were round baskets. And I guess I first developed the upside down putt there. And didn't work over great distance, but was very accurate and stood me in good stead. 78 played in the first PDGA Worlds, like I said, and I managed to beat Tom Monroe. There was only 18 people there, but Tom's PDGA number was 33, so he beat me there, but then for a few years after that, in the early 80s, probably Jaws and I won the majority of the tournaments. It seemed like, a few people like Greg and other people did well at times, but in the early days, seems like it was just Jaws and I. And went to the first Worlds in '82 and out in California and played 10 or 12 or more years. Didn't miss a Worlds for a while until I was in, I don't know what year was Atlanta.
Atlanta?
Athens.
Oh, Athens. I don't know. I didn't make that one.
So I went to Athens and tried to play, but the heat got to me and I had to withdraw, and I guess I hadn't been to one since then. August is a rough time for us old guys. And I know late 80s, there was a young kid called Climo that came out and started playing, and I was fortunate to beat him once on his home course, but played at the Worlds in Arizona. He managed to win in Arizona. I was 10th. And after that, Kenny was pretty much unbeatable. So at this point, I guess I'd like Kenny to come up and say a few words. Thanks very much.
Slasor, ladies and gentlemen. In the early days, he and Jaws were pretty much the guys to catch. I always considered Steve to be kind of, for lack of a better term, like a junk pitcher. The guy could throw a lot of amazing stuff. You're just looking going, wait, what was that? So I learned a lot of my quirky game from Jason Slasor. But anyway, all right, let's get into this second induction. Some of you may have heard of this guy. Widely considered to be the greatest disc golfer of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's worth it. Ken Climo's stats are literally unparalleled, with 12 PDGA Open World titles, 9 consecutive. KC completely dominated the 1990s, had 3 Master World titles, 5 U.S. championships, 11-time Player of the Year award, and a nearly 50% win record. I believe we've got something like 7 state titles as well. The champ, Ken Climo, is truly disc golf's fiercest competitor. Welcome to the Florida Disc Golf.
Thank you guys. I want to give a big shout out to all the guys that have something to do with getting this Hall of Fame together. I know it's long overdue, and hats are off to you guys. Thank you a whole hell of a lot, because I'd imagine there's a few future inductees standing right here amongst ourselves right now. We'll see if they're getting into this. So thanks a bunch, guys, and what a beautiful day we have here besides all the noise we got going on up there. But I want to wish you guys luck on your tournament today. Playing 2 beautiful courses that this guy and myself designed each one of. This is mine, Picnic Island was his, and I hope you have fun. And as far as going back legendary, you don't want to take up all your time. I know you got some warm-up to do, and I know you got a tournament to play, but Florida has been largely in the disc golf scene, at the top of the disc golf scene for quite some time, between Jeff Watson, Steve Slasor, Tom Monroe, Gregg Hosfeld, myself, now Johnny McRae, and a bunch of other new people, Charlie Goodpasture, and Florida is hot in the disc golf scene, and let's keep it that way, guys.
Yeah.
Sweet. Thank you. Good luck.
There you go.